Next, we'll look at the solubility test of an unknown liquid in sodium hydroxide. Again, like all the qualitative tests, you need to do a known positive, which you know to be soluble, a known negative, which you know to be insoluble, and a unknown that you're testing to determine is it soluble or not soluble. So just like the water solubility test, you'll add a few drops of the substance that you're testing to the test tube. Eugenol is known to be soluble in sodium hydroxide solution. So to the known positive test tube, I'll add a few drops to the known positive test tube of eugenol there. And unknown letter T is the one that we're testing. I don't know if this is soluble or not soluble in sodium hydroxide. So we'll add to the question mark test tube a few drops, 3-4 drops of unknown letter T to the test tube. And then benzaldehyde is a substance that's known to be insoluble in sodium hydroxide solution. And so to the known negative test tube, I'll add a few drops of benzaldehyde. And like that. So now, again, these test tubes, I've made a mark, the mark's almost worn out, of 2 milliliters of liquid in the test tube. Since that was leaking, I'm just going to pour And now, again, like before, we will mix and make observations. Is the substance soluble or not? And what does it look like? So eugenol is known to dissolve in sodium hydroxide. That turns yellow, but it was yellow to begin with. Let's see. Oh yeah, it just dissolves. It's totally dissolved. One phase. Here's the unknown. Okay, that may be hard to see. Oh yeah, you can see it. See bubbles. It settles to the bottom. This unknown is denser than the solution, but when you shake it, you can see the bubbles of a different phase in the test tube. This is the unknown. Those settle to the bottom because this unknown is denser than the sodium hydroxide solution, but it still looks cloudy. And then when the substance settles to the bottom, you can see a bubble of that liquid in the bottom of the test tube. So this unknown letter T, is not soluble in sodium hydroxide solution. Here's the benzaldehyde. Benzaldehyde also sinks. But that cloudiness is another indicator that it's not soluble. If you have something that's soluble, it'll be transparent. This benzaldehyde was kind of oxidized. It's got a lot of benzoic acid in it, and so that might that kind of as a detergent and make it look funny like that. But definitely, this is not just nicely dissolving into one phase. So benzaldehyde is our known negative, and so unknown letter T. Oh yeah, now you can really see that bubble that settled to the bottom in the unknown. Sometimes with the solubility test, it's hard to tell. You have to look very closely. Maybe wait a minute. And so here are the solubility tests for sodium hydroxide with a liquid. We've got Eugenol, which is soluble in sodium hydroxide. The unknown, which we see the bubble settles to the bottom, that's the insoluble, and benzaldehyde is also insoluble.